Hello, today is August 24th, 2022. This is Tim Murphy. I'm Todd Graff, and this is the Gold Spot. All right, Tim, so obviously there's a lot going on in the news right now with financial information, economic information, and how that all ties into gold and silver and other financial markets. I know everything seems to be, it's an international situation. Everything's going on all over the globe, but what are you seeing the most that's affecting gold and silver or can affect gold and silver in the future?
Well, last weekend I read a piece from Alistair MacLeod. He is an economist, a brilliant economist out of London, and he knows the gold and silver markets very well. He's been writing about them for years, and he talked about how Russia and China have accumulated just massive amounts of physical gold. And China started doing this back in the 80s and 90s. They started to accumulate gold, and then in the early 2000s they supported their citizens to own gold as well. And then several years ago it came out that Russia has been doing the same, and they really have stepped it up recently. And they also are encouraging their citizens to own gold and as a hedge against everything that's happening right now with the economy. So in terms of numbers, Alistair MacLeod was talking about up to 40,000 tons total that Russia and China own. It's a massive amount. To put it in perspective, our number in the United States is at 8,000 tons, but even that it's believed to be much less than that. There hasn't been an audit in decades, so it's believed that the U.S. is almost out of gold altogether, maybe a couple thousand tons. No one knows for sure, but it's a real dire situation in terms of that. And other countries as well are also central banks are focusing on getting physical gold in 100 tons here, 100 tons there, and so you have to wonder why China, especially going back all these years, why is China accumulating all this gold? And you have a situation now where things are starting to fall apart with higher inflation, with the world world currencies are in trouble, the banks in trouble, especially banks in Europe, and they're in big trouble. So gold's going to play a real big part. So there's a real big push towards owning physical gold right now.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think not just that there's going to be competing exchanges, China, Russia, different places, as opposed to the usual, London bullion market. But I think too, currencies are what everybody needs to pay attention to. Currencies are going to be changing quite a bit in relation to each other and in relation to gold and silver. We're already seeing that right now with the euro, the yen. These currencies are down in relation to the dollar. Meanwhile, Russia's ruble is doing very well. There's a lot of speculation that they're going to be using gold and silver to back their currencies, or at least peg their currencies to gold and silver. And I think that could really change things, for the whole financial system in the world. So right now I think is one of the best times you can to buy physical gold and silver. Protect yourself during these times of change with currencies, inflation, and all the volatility in all markets that are coming. So give us a call if you have any questions. We're happy to explain things, explain options that you may have, and just go over everything. And that'll be it for this week. Join us next week on the Gold Spot.